fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, before we do begin, so as to not confuse myself, we are 8 months before the UA entrance exam. Now then. So that's at least there because I spent a long time trying to find out where I left off in the timeline and I did not specify. We do have Izuku Carter. He has just taken down the pro hero known as Eraserhead, and turned him into All for One. That being the end of his mission contract. And All for One, paying Midoriya with a quirk. Midoriya already had the, ability to test out what super strength was like. He did not enjoy it. Especially because his body just went from one extreme ability being easy to significantly harder. And the strength that already did put on his muscles was somewhat taxing. Now then, Midoriya did request a quirk that can fly under the radar and somewhat be incognito. No one would really question it, because it could just pass for refined skills, technique, training, and experience. Now, this quirk, someone had a name for it in the comments of the last part, I think. I don't remember the name, but the quirk would basically allow you to experience things in a bit slower reaction speed. And it would also do what Midoriya wanted it to do, where he can see exactly where a projectile is moving, where somebody is moving, and basically the path and direction he would need to take. Think of it like there's an arrow directly at my feet, and it would point forward constantly. Whenever I think about moving down the hallway and turning to the right, I can see the arrow turn down the hall. But if I immediately thought about heading straight, the arrow would shift its direction. Same thing could be said whenever somebody does actually bring a firearm up and point it at me, and whenever I actually aim a firearm at somebody else. Now, that is a simple explanation for it. But anyways, we do have Izuku, who he would get the quirk. All for One working on it immediately because of the way the quirk does work. It would also allow him to see, albeit differently than the way he already currently does. Now, with that being said, a few days later Midoriya would get this quirk, and find out about the little bonus All for One threw in, the perception enhanced ability, where he can experience things around 10 times faster than a normal human. Things feeling like they would slow down for Midoriya, but in reality, his mind would just speed up. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does find out about this little ability whenever he is trying to test out the quirk. And we actually do have Isla, who, while the two are actually at the firing range, she does ask Midoriya if he's ready. And she actually does get a knife in her fingers. Ask him if he really does believe that he can make this shot. Midoriya just staying there with a gun on the table, and the magazine sitting next to the weapon. People looking on at Midoriya. As his mother, Isla, was just going stating that that's fine, but she is not going to hold back with this, as she would go to throw the weapon directly into the firing range. As the weapon does actually fly across, Midoriya does go to grab his own weapon, reacting immediately, his hand being thrown outwards, and Midoriya being able to see it. His hand is moving at what looks to be 0.4% of the speed, or around 4 times slower than it actually should be. Him being able to grab the weapon. As he grabs it, he actually does bring his finger up, switching off the safety as he's already grabbed the magazine, slamming it directly into the gun as he actually would bring his hand up and pull the trigger. As he does that, he actually does follow the path where both of the arrows are pointing. As he does actually fire in that direction, people do actually watch. In one swift motion, Midoriya picked up the gun and immediately fired off at the throwing knife, as he's able to hit it and knock it out of the air. Now, a lot of people are impressed by that. Along with Midoriya, actually somewhat experiences the aftermath of this swift movement. Him actually needing to take a breath for a second, trying to run what happened in his head all over again, and what he just did. Realizing exactly that all that took place within the span of 3 seconds. For him, around 10. So, that was pretty good. Wow. I gotta say, I'm liking this quirk. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he would continue to test his ability, along with actually fighting against somebody within the Continental Training Room. Now, with that, he does actually fight against somebody who is supposed to be fast and strong, along with at least faster than they usually would be, or faster than the average person. Let's say that this person does at least have a mutation, which, I would say would make them like a bird and give them hollow bones, but that would not be the best idea for the fighting style I would plan to give them. Let's say that this quirk just allows the person to be faster than a normal human being. Basically, it's like an enhanced speed quirk. Now, Midori is actually fighting against this person, and he actually does have his hands up, as he's fighting them. Now, the person does use a boxer style and put their hands up, them actually jumping back and forth as they're standing still. And Midoriya, he actually does put his hands up in that same fighting style, as the person is actually trying to rush Midoriya and get in. Midoriya watching where they're moving. They jump to the left, they go to the right, forwards immediately, and then they actually go side to side. Midoriya just following the arrows, and watching, confused, as one actually does turn red. As that does actually happen, the person does actually bring up their fist and slam Midoriya directly across the face. Midoriya feeling that, as he actually does slam up with his left knee, hitting the person directly in the jaw. Now, the person quickly actually does just back away, and bring their hands back up, telling the kid that was quite alarming. That he left himself wide open to retaliate. Now, Midoriya just says nothing to this, and he actually does just wipe his face, before bringing his hands back up. He can't tell this person that he's testing a quirk. Shit. How do I turn this thing off anyways? These arrows are starting to get a bit annoying. Now, Midoriya is thinking that. The person rushing in and Midoriya actually watching as another arrow turns red. Him actually taking a step to the right, watching as another arrow does turn red as well. Before he actually does shift again and he actually does see one turn green. The person stepping directly that way as Midoriya does actually retaliate with a swift palm slam directly into the chest, knocking the wind directly out of this person, as Midoriya slams his left hand upwards with as much force as he can. As he does that, he actually just slams the person directly into the chin, as they actually go falling backwards a bit, trying to get back on their feet and retaliate. However, Midoriya, he just throws a shoulder directly into the person's gut, before grabbing them and slamming them down onto the mat, as he throws his body directly in a way to pin them down. he already had the person pinned down with both arms to the mat, and he would throw his right leg directly over the person's knees so they could not try and bend them or try and kick him. Now, the person's quite alarmed. This kid's good. Sheesh, kid. You're the first person to beat me in quite a little while. Much appreciated. Yeah. Haven't been knocked that silly in quite a bit. Really? Yeah. Long time, actually. At least not when basic sparring. When it comes to actual combat, I'd say about a week. Alright. Midoriya getting off of them. And the person actually congratulating Midoriya on that win. And saying that, but he could improve upon these things, giving him small little tips. His eyes keep wandering during the fight. Yes, he's looking for an opening, but at the same time he's over contemplating things. Surprised I did not mess it up. Now then, with that being said, Midoriya would actually go back to his room. And he does actually hop in the shower. Currently, his mom is out somewhere, possibly looking around the city and actually having quite a bit of fun. In all likelihood, she's hunting down one of those pro heroes that All for One does actually want. Let's see, one of the files were open earlier, plus she was looking at them in the car. So, exactly what kind of quirk would she get? He could see his mother rolling in with an enhancement ability. That would sound quite powerful. Something that could increase her speed and stamina by just a little bit. Everybody already mistakes her for superhuman. Not only are both of them fast, strong, agile, and good with weapons, but people already mistake them for having quirks, especially in their line of duty. So, he just needs to make a small list about quirks that she might want or probably even take. Now, as Midoriya does actually think this, there is something that does happen. He gets out of the shower and does then go to sit down after changing, as he actually is thinking about taking on another mission. Let's see. I wonder, Midoriya actually looking online and seeing what they do currently have. Wondering if, let's see. Him scrolling through a bit more, and looking for a couple of minutes, before the hotel phone does actually ring. And Midoriya does actually walk over, or at least sit up and pick up the phone. Answering it. Hello? Yes, is this Isla Carter? No, she's not actually here at the moment. This is her son? Izuku? Ah, I see. Hello, young man. It has been quite a minute since I've last talked to you. Talk to me? Director? Midoriya saying the man's name. Or at least his job title, because I don't want to give this man a name at the moment. Now, the man does actually say hello, and that he doesn't need to call him director. In fact, the details of his next mission are going to actually involve personal information and things with him. Huh? Sir, you're giving me a direct mission? Yes, young man. Except you do not have to refer to me as director. What? What are you talking about? Yes. You have seen my face. You have impressed me. And you've even stopped a few attempts to even expose our identities. What? Yes. Some of the missions you've been given in your past, you and your mother. Young man, some of the missions you've been on have been directly affecting the High Table. What? What do you... You've been protecting us. Us? Director, sir, you're... Yes, I am. I am someone on the high table, and you yourself have proven your worth. I've been monitoring you, slipping into positions lower than my own spot to see what is going on. We do this to ensure that certain candidates that are young upstarts like yourself are not only receiving proper training, but are at least still going through challenges. So, that is why you've been getting put into more and more advanced courses, why you've gotten your tattoos early, and that one that we do need to actually fix. Hmm? Yes, sir. That one did start warping, but they just started messing with it when it got bigger. Hmm, I see. Well, they do those tattoos at such an early age to verify the body of somebody. Hmm? Yes, whenever you get older. In case you are to pass, they can look underneath your skin and see if the lasting damage is still there. Of your tattoo. In fact, that is not the only reason why they do that. There are multiple, in fact. Certain things and traces left underneath your skin through the needles. What? Yes. It is a very complicated process, and the chemicals we use are virtually untrackable to anyone who does not know they exist. Wait, sir, okay. That's weird. Yes. Now, in exactly 2 minutes, a package will be arriving at your hotel room. It was just delivered to the Continental. And after that package has arrived, do you still have that pen I gave you those years ago? Yes, sir. I always carry it with me. Good. That will be the key. That will be the key to your success. The package you do have on its way will also have a burner phone. As soon as my instruments telling that case was open, then you will receive a phone call. Good luck, young Carter. The man hanging up the phone. Midoriya left there as the line is hanging, or at least buzzing off the line. Midoriya setting down the hotel phone as he actually received that knock on his door just a few seconds later. Getting up and actually walking over to his coat, grabbing his gun as the pen does actually fall out. Now, Midoriya does walk over carefully and try not to make a single sound. Looking at the door and using his quirk, nothing comes through it. So that does at least make him feel a little bit better, as he actually just put his gun directly up to the door and look through the peephole. Now, he does see someone standing there with a package, and the symbol the symbol on the top of it. Midoriya opening it as the person just stands there, not saying a single word, handing it over to him as they do go to quickly walk away. Now, the moment that does happen, the person, as soon as they actually do take a few steps, start running. And that does kind of upset Midoriya quite a bit, as he would slowly gulp, heading back into the room and setting the package down on the desk, or down on the table in the hotel room, opening up the box and seeing what is inside, as it is a suitcase, along with at least something to fill in space. Midoriya pulling out the case and looking at it, as there are multiple layers of security on it, a pen code, a fingerprint scanner, and, well, a circular hole that looks like you can fit a coin inside of it. Odd. Midoriya at least turning back around, and looking at the pen that is on the ground, walking over and grabbing it, as he just picks it up, inspecting it and seeing if there is anything strange off about it. He's had this pen for years, so it's a key. I see. The moment I killed those other candidates, the high table must have had me on their radar. No, wait. A young upstart. The forest. Now, Midoriya does actually put the key, or the pen, in first. As he actually just twists the top of the pen, this would be whenever something does actually click, as the very tip of the pen has gone into the instrument it needed to, as it does actually somewhat open. Now, a part of the case does actually open up, and there is a small phone, as it does begin to ring. Midoriya picking it up and being informed about everything else, the code and the fingerprint scan. Midoriya typing in the code as he does also scan his finger, the other portions of the case actually popping open and revealing sensitive data. Now, Midoriya does take out the file and listen to what the man is saying. Midoriya is going to be given a very, very specialized mission from the High Table themselves. Midoriya has gone through efforts to help protect their identities. However, he and his mother are not the only ones to do so. An excommunicado who knows who he is might go after his daughter. Hmm? Sir, you... Yes, actually I do. And she is located in Japan. She was moved here. So, do expect to guard her. This is going to be your mission, directly from the High Table. Yes, sir, I understand. Good. Now, open the file and read who you do have to go see. Midoriya doing so. Reading the name out to the man and who she is, her age, and well, her current location, or where her address is at. Yes, good. Now, along with that, take out what is underneath. Now, Midoriya does actually look into the case a bit more. There's more information here. And he does actually find something cold. Pulling it out and looking at it, to see that it is a marker. What? Sir, this wouldn't happen to be your... Yes, it is. Now, do be aware, Izuku Carter. This mission, I am trusting you to guard the life of my daughter. And, do know, both of her parents are on the High Table. Both of us are scared about what can happen to her. If the excommunicado does go for her, kill them. Do not give it a single ounce of hesitation. I do not care if they are someone you know, someone you have heard about, someone you idolize, or even your own mother. That last part shooting into Midoriya. If his mother was the excommunicado, he'd have to kill her? Yes, sir. Good. Now, your mission to start briefly. Everything else inside the suitcase you can take. However, the phone, him going on to tell Midoriya that it is going to be blowing up or exploding in a few minutes. So, take the files out of the case and put the phone back inside. Along with actually him saying that these files should stay inside the case, since the case will actually contain the blast. Yes, sir. The man then hanging up the phone. Midoriya following as instructed. As a few minutes do go by after the case is closed. And you actually do hear the small pop sound. Now, with that happening, Midoriya actually just pick up the case, as it does feel a little bit warmer. Or that could just be his imagination. And he would leave the room. As he does so, he goes back up to the front desk, and he does actually have two cases in his hand, putting up the metal box with this small little insignia on it, informing the person there that he is no longer needing this service. Yes, sir, I understand. Will that be all for today? Yes, it will be. Thank you. I understand, sir. Enjoy your stay at the Continental. Now, Roya turns on a face, or turns on a dime, and would leave. And head out to go and meet the person who he is supposed to safeguard. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.